Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk, bringing you breaking news out of Nevada, specifically in Las Vegas, where reports at the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, UNLV, there is an active shooter situation. I want to bring you live right now. We have our affiliates out there. Let's listen to some people that were there.
Okay. Were you in that business building?
We weren't. We were next door.
Were you hearing from anybody else, if anybody being shot or anything like that?
We didn't hear that anyone got shot. We did hear the gunshots, though. I know at least one of my friends, she was in the business building, just ran out, hopped fences, got to a car as fast as possible.
And did she say how many shots she heard, or how many shots did you hear?
We heard at least four. Yeah.
About, yeah.
4 shots?
That was all we heard, but there was most likely more, I'd say.
So people were getting that text message about an active shooter here on campus. I mean, is that what happened to you at first, or were you told by faculty in the classroom?
We were told there was somebody.
We were told by a friend.
Yeah, I heard somebody. We were in a big building. We had a bunch of presentations going on today, and we were in a ballroom. And I first heard from somebody there, and then somebody in that room gave an announcement, and then I got the text, and then we just kept getting updates from UNLV, which I commend them. They did a great job letting us know where it was and where to how to stay safe and avoid it.
So, I mean, do you still have friends on campus? Everyone out, you know?
Not everyone's out.
People are still on campus.
I know Student Union is evacuated. I'm not sure if Business Hall is evacuated. I sincerely doubt that it is. Maybe now that they've got them. But,
I mean, what's going through your mind right now when you turn around and see all that?
just thankful I'm not there anymore.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you for taking time in here to talk to me. I'll take the shot back here. Let's move the camera. So we just got more information from the Metropolitan Police Department that the suspect in this has been confirmed detained here on the UNLV campus. We just talked to the students here who were there hearing those gunshots, obviously concerned about what was going on, but obviously a very developing situation. Now we also are getting word that UMC, University Medical Center, is also on lockdown here at this time. Obviously this is developing today. We're trying to get information if that's connected to this at all here at the UNLV campus, but now we are seeing several police units actually leave this scene, go north on Maryland Parkway. Now we just got word that the suspect in this shooting, this is per the Metropolitan Police Department, that the suspect is dead. That was here at open fire. You can just heard those students talk about shots being fired on campus, not knowing what was going on, but happy with the communication they were getting during this situation that happened on campus. And now I'm going to step out here and just give you another look here. Now the suspect, again, has been, is not only detained, but has been shot and killed here on the campus, according to the Metropolitan Police Department. And we also have word that UMC is now on lockdown, University Medical Center, probably 2 or 3 miles away from this location. Not too sure if that's connected to this. My producer in my ear was just giving me that information here a minute ago. But those students relieved to hear that the situation here has been wrapped up. The suspect has not only been detained, but has also been killed here on campus. We're still trying to get a lot of information here. I mean, this is a very active situation here on campus. I know Darcy back in the studio, you can see the amount of law enforcement vehicles out here. Obviously, this is a very serious situation, and we're going to gather as much information as we can. We'll be out here for much time, but also we're going to be gathering more information about what's going on over there at UMC. Darcy.
All right, so we're going to leave these shots up here. Now, what you're seeing basically are multiple stations in the Las Vegas area that we get access to their live feeds, their live streams, and their photos and their videos. So that's what we're bringing you right now. So what you're seeing is basically a streamline of the news process during a breaking news situation, specifically regarding this UNLV shooting. Now, you heard that reporter say on air that the suspect was killed. We're going to just wait a little bit more to learn some more specifics on this because there seems to be a debate whether it's just detained or killed in general. We'll wait for that double confirmation, of course, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we get that official information here. What you're seeing on left side and right side here are multiple shots from the scene. I want to recap what we know thus far. The saying that we hear constantly is the run, fight, hide. That has been distributed by UNLV. The response was pretty rapid for shots fired. And this specifically, at least according to UNLV, the shots were fired in the student union, They were told to evacuate the area. Again, run, hide, fight was what was told. You're seeing Metro Police gathering right there, looking at different cars, areas like that. You heard during the report from one of the reporters there, him basically jetting away and showing that there were numerous cars, numerous first responders, sirens blaring, heading away from the scene. that is something that we're expecting to happen quite a bit on this. Now, I'm not too familiar. I've been to Nevada and I've been to Las Vegas, but I'm not too familiar with UNLV specifically. So what I'm going to be doing is basically just sourcing different information, trying to make sure that we can access as much as possible and get the information as correct as possible here. The main area, it seems, was Beam Hall. I'm going to try and pull it up on a map. And while we do, I want to recap at least the very little of what we know. There were reports of a shooting at the UNLV campus. So let's see if this reporter stepping back in has any more information. Nope, doesn't seem like there's an update on there. So I'm going to try and pull this up on a map so we can at least see where this is. Yep, all right, I see it now. Okay, so, whoops.
Some sound in there.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're going to have some sound for everybody to hear. I'm just trying to find specifically where Beam Hall is, which seems to be in the middle of the campus. So you can see here, I'll pull up the map. So you can see in that middle of the map there, you see where that red dot is? That's Beam Hall. That's essentially in the central point of campus. On the right-hand side seems to be some businesses, things like that. But the direct center of the campus is that spot right there. All right, so we're going to get some sound from the scene, which I'll pull up in just a second here, just waiting for the system to figure itself out. But again, according to officials, that suspect was detained, and then ultimately that suspect, we don't know the order of this, was killed as well. But we're going to wait for an update from police here. You heard from students who said that they heard the shots before, but we want to get to that full interview. Let's bring that to you right now.
We were on the second floor of the Student Union building. Student Union building got evacuated. We were evacuated out by police holding guns. We all walked out with our arms up. When we were walking out, we saw one of the windows had been shot through. So we got out. UNLV did a really good job giving us updates, telling us where the shooter was, getting us out quick. We know that there was at least one shooter in the business building on the second floor. We heard maybe there was a second shooter.
On the fourth floor, maybe.
Yeah, but we're just glad that we're out.
And so you were inside the campus there. I mean, what was going through your mind when this was all happening?
I've been in a lockdown before, so I was mainly just worried about all the people who I was with, making sure that everyone who I knew that was a business major was safe and at home or safe and in lockdown. Just basically frantically texting all of my friends who were on campus, making sure that they knew where they were, that they were safe.
And we just got notice that the suspect has actually been detained on campus.
Okay.
Were you in that business building?
We weren't. We were next door.
Were you hearing from anybody else, of anybody being shot or anything like that?
We didn't hear that anyone got shot. We did hear the gunshots, though. I know at least one of my friends, she was in the business building, just ran out, hopped fences, got to a car as fast as possible.
And did she say how many shots she heard, or how many shots did you hear?
We heard at least four. Yeah.
About, yeah.
4 shots.
That was all we heard, but there was most likely more, I'd say.
So people were getting that text message about an active shooter here on campus. I mean, is that what happened to you at first, or were you told by faculty in the classroom?
We were told there was somebody.
We were told by a friend.
Yeah, I heard somebody. We were in a big building. We had a bunch of presentations going on today, and we were in a ballroom. And I first heard from somebody there, and then somebody in that room gave an announcement, and then I got the text, and then we just kept getting updates from UNLV, which I commend them. They did a great job letting us know where it was and where to how to stay safe and avoid it.
So, I mean, do you still have friends on campus? Everyone out, you know?
Not everyone's out.
People are still on campus.
I know Student Union is evacuated. I'm not sure if Business Hall is evacuated. I sincerely doubt that it is. Maybe now that they've got them. But,
I mean, what's going through your mind right now when you turn around and see all that?
just thankful I'm not there anymore.
And yeah, very thankful for the students that are not there anymore. This is just a look at the totality of the response from police. On the left-hand side, that is KTNV, and you are seeing the UNLV flags on the corner there. Now, on the right-hand side, you're seeing a portion of the street basically closest to campus. There's a bunch of different restaurants along that street, and if you were to go left, so basically behind where our camera is that you're seeing, again, on the right-hand side of there, behind where they are, that is the heart of campus, and then that part there where they're zooming into. So UNLV's Twitter account has basically been posting a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to update this right now just really quickly and try and pull this up here. All right, here we go. So I'll pull this up. We're just going to watch or read through this together. So 36 minutes ago was the initial report from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We were responding to preliminary reports of an active shooter on the campus of UNLV near Beam Hall. There appears to be multiple victims at this time. Please avoid the area and we'll have more information soon. That update then came about 26 minutes later. The suspect is contained. There is an active investigation. Please continue to avoid the area and watch for responding emergency units. So those are the official updates that we got, at least courtesy of Twitter, or now X, I guess is the way to put this there. But multiple alerts went out for multiple different spots. So the first alert for this came in 48 minutes ago, and then essentially what I'm seeing is that the emergency notifications continue to be sent out. You heard one of the students say that the notification system actually was great, that they were constantly updated, which is, I've unfortunately had to do this way more times than I'd like to count, and I know that many parents and family members and students have to deal with this way more
straight down there
than they would like to count. But a great response. Let's listen into this report here.
This road is closed to the public, so this is closed. We're seeing caution tape being put up around the campus, just on the other side, just on the outskirts of campus. Caution tape is now going up. But we're going to walk down this way to get a closer look of the campus here. You can see the helicopter overhead, several units here. On this side, we've been seeing law enforcement crowd the entire campus. We had drove on the north side of campus to get here about 20 minutes ago, maybe less than that, and you just see unit after unit go by with their sirens on. So a lot of people in the businesses were wondering what was going on. And again, we talked to those students here just a couple minutes ago. If you weren't tuned in, or if you were, we talked to them about being on campus at this time, and they say, unfortunately, they have been in a lockdown situation sort of like this before, and they knew what to do in this sort of situation. And personally, I have actually been in a similar situation on a campus when it's been locked down at the university I went to in California. So it's not a situation you want to be in, obviously. It's scary. You don't know what you're hearing. I mean, those women we talked to, the students, said that they heard those gunshots. They didn't know where it was coming from or where it was at, but they did mention they still had friends on campus in another part where those shots were coming. And it's not nerve-wracking not knowing what's going on. But you're taking a live look. You can see those law enforcement personnel still running towards the campus here. Again, we are told that one suspect has been killed here on the campus after the reports of the active shooter. And I'm still seeing a number of students or people leave the campus here. Just to the left here, I'm going to have our photojournalist kind of show there's a line of people that just left the campus. You can see it looks like they're wearing some vests, some of them. Not too sure where they were on campus, but they just crossed the street from the UNLV campus. Now we're getting a closer look at the situation here. We are at the corner of University Avenue and Maryland Parkway on the east side of the campus. For those who are familiar with this area, we're right near that 7-Eleven, which is a popular spot here for many students. So as you can see, I can't even count how many law enforcement units are out here, probably around 100 vehicles out here. Helicopters still overhead. Still obviously a very active situation here on the UNLV campus. We don't know how many students are still on campus in that lockdown situation. They do tell those students to stay in place during this as they search the campus for any other possible suspects. We do know some patients have been transported to hospitals. We've been told that. We're hearing more closures of roads around the campus. If you are or live nearby the UNLV campus, keep that in mind. Or if you're trying to come down here, there's several roads closed, and one that I noticed closed is Maryland Parkway, Tropicana, Maryland Parkway, and other ones. I'm going to have our producer just repeat that University also closed down. So my producer just told me many of those ones are closed. But we're taking a look at some people still trickling out of the campus here. So what's going on? I mean, you're seeing law enforcement crowd this side of it, but they're also still going through the campus, trying to figure out if the situation is resolved. I mean, they're still going through, and we're going to keep this shot up for here. But Darcy, as you can see, is a very active situation. We're still waiting to gather more information from law enforcement here on the UNLV property. That's still going to happen here in a short time. We're hoping to get more information, but I know that there's still a lot of questions that are unanswered. Obviously, what's happening at UMC, what's happening here. But those students, as you can imagine, relieved to hear that at least one suspect has been detained, and unfortunately that suspect was killed here on the campus. But they're happy to hear that that was resolved and that situation is better there. But we're still waiting to get more information here on the UNLV campus, so we'll be out here and we'll keep this shot up so you can obviously look down here, and we'll keep our coverage continuing.
All right, we're going to switch from one reporter to another. Keep the updates coming here.
I'll send it back to you.
All right, never mind. She just sent it back. Okay, so we do have I want to show you this update here from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. The suspect has been located and deceased. That was an update 8 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, this suspect is contained. So essentially updating as we go along. But basically what that latest report showed is how much of the area and the street needs to be blocked off as a result of what is going on here. Again, this was an active shooter situation. They believe that the suspect was killed, or they said that the suspect was killed. They're not notifying or not saying if there's anybody else that they are looking for in this situation. So for students that are there, you could hear one of the reporters saying how there's a little bit of relief, but still a horrifying situation as multiple victims were reported in this active shooter situation, again, at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. That, of course, in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department following along on this and reporting that and letting us know that the suspect has been killed in this. The specific area that this took place, the reports were at Beam Hall, which essentially is the student union in the dead center of the main portion of campus. So for anybody that's been to a pretty standard looking, and I'm not implying that this is standard looking, but they all are somewhat situated the same. Basically, you have for these schools the main buildings in a center point of campus where typically you can either walk only a small amount or drive only a small amount, or not drive at all, and it's pretty much controlled and walking distance and things like that. That's where it seems to be that this was. This is a map of UNLV, and this shows you this area right here. That's Beam Hall. That is where the active shooter situation was. Now where all these cameras are on this side right here, you're seeing right there. This side right here is where all of these cameras are and all of our cameras are. They're posted a couple of miles and maybe a mile away from where Beam Hall is, but outside the area for sure. But the reports are that it was at the student union in the center of campus, and that's where the initial reports were. Let's see if this guy's going to talk. No, it doesn't seem so. And then ultimately, some sort of engagement happened, leading to the shooter dying. The suspect dying in this. Unsure of how many potentially hurt, unsure of potentially how many, if there are any fatalities. We know that the term is multiple victims have been reported, but to what level they've been hurt, we don't know. And that is something that does take some time here. And I want to be very careful when we do these live digital streams. We were reporting on, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, there was a car that exploded near the Niagara Falls, Canada, Niagara Falls, United States border. A lot of misinformation was flying around. That's why we like to just be extra sure before we report a lot of these things. So we're going to wait and see if any victims are reported, if any amounts of victims are reported. We wait. We want to make sure that we have quite a bit of confirmation on it before we go ahead and let you all know. Trying to see what else we've got here. So again, for those that are just joining us here, Jeff Slauson from the Digital Desk at 19 News, bringing you the latest updates from Las Vegas, where some sort of an active shooter situation happened less than an hour ago. The suspect is dead in this. You are now seeing what appears to be students moving off of campus. You heard earlier students talking about how they were able to get out of the area. I want to play that sound again for those that have not been following along or just jumping on here. Again, the suspect is deceased. You can see students with their hands up. That's what the kids were asked to do. Let's listen again to more sound here in a second. But I want to keep this up here so you can see all of the students and faculty and staff and whoever leaving the zone. Now, again, left of that, you would head toward campus and toward Beam Hall where the reports were of the active shooter situation. All right, let's play this. Let's play the sound in a second once this totally finally ends. All right, looks like we might be getting a report from another reporter here. Yep, they're getting an interview. Let's take this live.
They're going to come to us in like a minute. But you know she's okay. And
All right, so they're Live 7 also. Okay, so we're gonna wait while it seems like they're gonna take this live on TV. Let's see what's in live. Oh, okay, we got another reporter here, so let's. Okay, great. So we have a gray reporter coming up here. We're gonna take them in Live 7, and then we might potentially pop back up.
I'm gonna get her. Actually, yeah. Don't put me on that. Okay, sorry, don't worry.
I know this is
All right, so we're gonna
tough,
take
and
this
I
one first here,
appreciate
and then
you
we'll go.
talking with us, but you said you know she is safe right now, right? Tell me.
Yeah, I'm texting her every like 2 minutes. She's okay right now. She's in a lockdown in a building, so she's with a lot of other people, so she's okay for now, yeah.
So you said you received an alert, correct?
Yeah, from UNLV, they send like alerts all the time. Usually they're just drills or like earthquake or whatever, but I woke up to these texts, and it was the one day I don't take my sister to school. Usually I'm on campus with her like every moment, but today I wasn't, and this just happens, which is crazy, so yeah.
What year is she? What year are you?
She's a freshman. This is her first year. I'm a third year. So I've been going here, nothing like this ever happened. So I don't know, it's just stupid. Like, you know, I don't know, she's very scared right now. It's crazy.
I'm going to ask you not to tell me where she is or any specifics, but just share with me sort of what she described.
They're all like, her teacher just locked up the room, said they're not letting nobody out until they know like the suspects are like gone or whatever, but I don't know, it's like very quiet, and she's just scared, man. I never like she's really like a she's never really scared about anything, but like this is just out of the ordinary, bro. Yeah.
And as we've been reporting, police said the suspect is dead. Obviously, in an active shooter situation like this, they want to clear the area, make sure everyone is okay. My last question for you is, as the big brother, tell me what's going through your mind right now.
It's like, man, I don't even know, dude. I don't know if I feel like crying or I feel like angry. I'm not too sure, but I'm just like really confused right now because we've never been in like a close quarter situation like this. And it's just I wish I could trade spots right now because, no, that's crazy. She doesn't deserve to be in there right now. Or like nobody in there. That's crazy. Yeah. I just wish I was in there right now. I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you for talking with us. I know, again, this is tough, and we are glad you are safe and that your sister is safe, okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
So, look, you guys, you can see sort of the shock, people trying to make sense of what's happening, wanting to know what's going on in there, relatives trying to stay in touch continuously with the students in there who are hiding while this scene is chaotic, while this is an active scene, while we still see law enforcement arriving to that scene. So I'll send it back to you.
All right, so you heard from the latest there. We have now 3 separate angles of what's going on here. So we have 3 separate views at all this. I'm going to pull up all 3 of them. Yeah, so we have now cameras 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 different cameras showing you 3 different angles of what's going on at the moment, currently at UNLV. I know it's not necessarily the best. I wish we had a better way to show all three of them, but we'll keep that up for a couple of more seconds here just to show you everything that we are having covered here. All right, so now we'll show you a full of this one here to show you the helicopter. Again, this is a really massive approach here to try and cover all of the ground that is this campus. But what we have been told, at least the latest, is that the active shooter situation has been handled, and that the shooter or the suspect has been killed, is dead in this. But we don't know specifically how. We don't know any more updates on that. Specifically, you were hearing from a person whose sister was involved in this, and you could just hear the pain in their voice. So as of 10 minutes ago, the shelter in place is still active. According to UNLV, they say, please shelter in place. This remains an active investigation. The suspect has been contained, according to police. But just because the suspect has been contained, again, they're not sure if there are multiple people here. So now you're seeing, okay, so look at this. What we're seeing on these screens here, multiple people walking out of the main campus area. Just look at this. So that's the main campus area. Walking out, they are told to keep their hands up. Just an awful situation here. I mean, imagine having to handle that when you're just at school. We have, I've only worked here a couple of years, and we've had to cover this way too often. All right, so I'm just still trying to get some more info on this. Again, 3 cameras here, 1, 2, and 3, showing different parts of UNLV's campus. Where the reported shooting took place, Beam Hall, which is in the center point of the campus. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's last update came to us 20 minutes ago, where they said the suspect has been located and is deceased. Now, again, you can read between the lines on a lot of that. Located and is deceased. We do not know exactly how that happened. We do not know how the shooting started. We do not know what the response was like. But what we do know, at least in part, is that UNLV was keeping their students pretty updated here. So I found this on the UNLV website. So we should pull this down really quickly. Starting at 11:54 a.m., this is their time. So 2 hours, I believe they are. 2 or 3 hours. University police responding to reports of shots fired in BEH, and that is that hall. Evacuate to a safe area, run, hide, fight. You hear that constantly, and we're hearing it way too much now. Then coming about 8 minutes later, University police continues to respond to an active shooter situation at BEH. Again, that is Beam Hall. Continue to shelter in place. And then another update coming 18 minutes following that. University police responding to additional report of shots fired in the student union. Evacuate the area, run, hide, fight. Additional reports reported then at 12:20. So unsure exactly when that happened to basically when the shooter was taken down. But what we at least can track is the response that was done by UNLV, which seems pretty comprehensive. We've heard from multiple people now who say that they kept getting updates from UNLV police and from UNLV's campus security, essentially trying to help them through all this. As you're seeing now, the more people being walked out of the area. We've had our school safety expert, Ken Trump, on multiple times before, and essentially what he says that they typically do is clear an area, keep everybody in a place, you enter, you examine it, you make sure everybody's safe, you make sure everybody is not the suspect, basically, and then you all have them walk out together. Then you do the next spot, and the next spot, and the next spot. That's why the shelter in place is still in effect, and it takes a while, but it's for a reason. Because you don't want to induce even more panic than there already is. You don't want somebody that had nothing to do with this to be in a situation that could ultimately lead to them being hurt or killed. So that's the point. That is why it takes so long for a lot of this. That is why they are so methodical in this, and that's why you're seeing essentially chunks of people walking out of that area, many of them on their phones, I'm assuming letting their family members know that they are okay, that they are safe. But that's why it takes so long. This type of a response is seen very often in a situation like this. Again, Ken Trump is our school security expert who we use constantly on things like this. And the last time there was a school shooting, which unfortunately was not that long ago, we discussed this, how it's basically phase by phase that they go through, allow people to leave, and then they go to the next room, allow more people to leave. And there are officers all along the way getting them out of the area, so there's no confusion at all. And you could probably predict and see why there could be some confusion in a situation like this. And that's why they do it. They want to make sure that they are handling this with the most care as possible, and also to provide the most, or the highest level of safety. Okay. UNLV tweeting again, police ask that you continue to please shelter in place. They're evacuating buildings one at a time. This remains an active investigation. The suspect has been contained. So that continual updates from this. But that is basically the same update that we got from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, saying to continue sheltering in place. Nothing has changed from that.
The HUD has added they're streaming KBVU. We just want to cut it loose.
All right, so we will end our digital stream here, but of course we'll have more updates on this to come tonight on 19 News. There's still much more on this active shooter situation. Again, to re-rack our breaking news here, suspect killed in UNLV active shooter situation, multiple victims reported. If we get any updates to come, whenever we get an update from police, any live interviews, press conferences, of course we'll bring that to you both here and online and on air as well. For now, I'm Jeff Sloss with 19 News. Much more to come on this breaking news story from all of us here at Cleveland 19.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for channel 1035.